Why women will choose security over love. Well, this is another kind of core thing that I talk about when it comes to the red pill. Again, we're delving into female nature, female motivation, female biology, female survival motivation, right? And I think that, to a good extent, I mean, obviously I don't like it. Obviously I think that it's messed up. But in another sense, I believe that the biology of it is a very large part of it, right? I don't think that women have evolved to the point where they are above their base instincts, above their lower instincts. And the irony, and I think I mentioned this in one of my last videos, is that a lot of what feminists do is projection. They'll project their own, how they deal with men. They'll project that onto men and accuse men of doing what they're doing, right? They'll say, oh, I'm not an object, right? Even though they objectify men. What is it when you're looking at a man for his money? That's objectifying a man, right? What is it when you're looking at a man for his looks? That's objectifying a man. I mean, in a sense, we all do it. We all objectify each other, but it depends on it depends on if there's anything wrong with that. Is there really anything wrong with that? Like, we all look at each other, is this guy attractive? Is this girl attractive? Is this guy rich? Is this girl, cool or what? We all size each other up. We're always calculating as humans. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. It just depends. It depends on what you do with it. Now, as I was saying, in a sense, these are base instincts. Okay. Let me put it this way. It's a base instinct to choose materialism over love, right? Now, I've dated girls that weren't that attractive physically. Like, I could have, as far as looks goes, I could say, I don't want to date you because you're not hot enough for me. But there was several times where I ended up dating a girl and being with a girl in a long-term relationship because I liked her personality, because I liked the way we were around each other, right? But if I was strictly just about looks, that would be objectifying in a negative way. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't be in a relationship with you because you're just not hot enough, right? That's what that would be, right? But if you think about it, this is what women do. I can't be in a relationship with you because you don't make enough money. Well, isn't that the same thing, just in a different way? You're objectifying a man based on his money, right? This is base lower instinct. And that's what women accuse men of doing. Don't get me wrong. Women don't accuse men of only choosing women for their money, but women, particularly feminists, accuse men of choosing women for their looks, which they claim is objectifying. Oh, I'm more than just my looks. Okay, well, in that same vein, I'm more than just my resources. I'm more than just my money. You see my point? There's a hypocrisy there. There's a hypocrisy there. And I just wanted to get this guy off my ass. The hypocrisy is, I'm doing a drive. You can't see it. I'm doing a driving vlog, but you can't see it because it's 10:30 p.m., 10:30 at night. But anyway, the hypocrisy is that women do just what they claim men do. They are projecting their own behavior onto us. And actually, I would argue that men are a lot less forgiving. Men are a lot less objectifying than women are. I think that women have higher standards than men do. And I think that their standards are something that men don't even hold. Men don't require a woman to have a job. All men require is that, hey, don't be too much of a bitch. Don't be too fat. You know what I mean? Don't let yourself go, be unhealthy. And because why would you want to date somebody who's going to die in 20 years? Right? Look at Kirstie Alley, or look at Jessica Simpson even got fat. All kinds of these, obviously these aren't your everyday girls, but women hit the wall and they let themselves go. And it's like, It gets deep. It's like, if you require me to have resources, I can require you to be in shape. You know what I mean? Because that's essentially what it is. Relationships are an exchange. And I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I agree with it. I don't. Obviously, if you listen to my content, right? If you listen to my channel, I don't agree with that at all. We should look at each other for more than just our physical looks for the female and more than just our resources for the male. But that's just the way that it is, right? This is what we do. It's what women do. Women don't care as much about your character as they do about your resources. Look at Donald Trump. The guy's our president. People voted for this guy, and he's an absolute lecher. He's an absolute asshole of a human being. So character, unfortunately, in this materialistic base world, this evil world that we live in, doesn't mean as much as resources. And look no further than female choices, how women choose men, right? So this is why I start off in saying that women will choose security over love. They will, and they do in large part. And I think that it's a major factor. It's something that's downplayed. It's something that women themselves really like to downplay. They like to hide that intention. Why? Because they know it makes them shallow. And they don't want to be viewed as shallow. They, on the surface, they want to be viewed as, perfect, princesses who are not shallow, who are just graceful and love. And they're the opposite of that. They're slutty, they're mean, they're shallow, they're manipulative, they're gaslighters, they're narcissists. Now, is this every single girl? No, it's not. But my point is that female nature requires the man to have resources, requires the man to have a job, requires him to have a mortgage. If you don't have that, you're not going to get a woman. Look at the wild. Look at mating behaviors in animals, right? They either fight for the woman, right? Or they build a nest and then the woman comes. That's either or. Rarely in the animal kingdom do they just hook up. It's survival of the fittest. I'm going to choose the fittest male in the animal kingdom. And it's the same for humans. We're all mammals, man, but we don't talk about it. We don't address this because it's just, but it's the truth. And guys know it. Guys know it in the back of their head. I knew it when I was 20 because I figured it out. Oh, it was just innate. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta go work. And when I got sick and I realized, I can't work, I thought my life was over because I realized, well, what woman is gonna love me? Because this is how women are. And no woman did love me. And here I am 15 odd years later. After my 20s when I got sick, and I'm in the same place. No woman loved me. I've had all these shitty relationships that ended bad because the women were always like, how are you going to take care of me? How are you going to care for some kids? How are you going to do anything when you don't work, when you don't have resources? You see? I mean, this is empirical evidence. But see, you put something like that out there online, and you'll get attacked until kingdom come, because nobody wants to talk about the truth, which is that females are base in their nature. Females are materialistic and shallow in their nature. If they weren't, in a way, there's different ways to look at it. If they weren't, the world would be there probably would be no structure, because men wouldn't have to work, right? So, what do I need to work for? Like, I don't need to work. What do I need to work for? I can just go get a woman. Like, what do I need to work for? Well, then you realize, well, you got to eat, so you got to work, right? But it's not how it is. Because if you don't get the job first, then you don't get the woman. It's like this famous quote from the movie Scarface with Al Pacino. Scarface says, in this country, first you get the money and the power, and then you get the woman. And that's the truth. And I don't care. It's not just for gangsters. It's not just for Cuban gangsters who came here and they're looking for the Michelle Pfeiffers of the world, the shallow, coke snorting club sluts. No, it's every girl. It's not just the shallow, coke snorting club sluts. It's all these girls. It's female nature, man. She will choose security over love, and then she'll just slap a label of love on that. And if you look at anybody's pictures on Facebook, anybody's engagement, anybody's relationship pictures, it's all good, right? On the outside. Oh yeah, we're all in love, woo woo. But that is financed, right? It's just like, some great speaker or some great politician, like, oh, he says all the right things, it's all good, he's so great and grand. Obviously not Donald Trump, but some great speaker, like, he's financed. If he wasn't financed, he wouldn't say all those great things, because he'd have to find a regular job. So he wouldn't be able to sit around and think of great things to say. He's financed by somebody, right? Somebody's paying for his time to sit around and write great quotes for him to speak to the American public or whoever, right? Whatever country, this great writer, like somebody's financing that person. It just doesn't happen. Like, relationships, the base and foundation of a relationship is the guy's ability to provide in most cases. And I don't even care in this world, or in this new age, in this new world that we live in, that where women can work too. I don't even care, because no woman, even if she has a great job, she's not dating a broke dude. She's not dating a dude who doesn't have a mortgage. She's not. She's not dating an unemployed guy. It's not going to happen. It's in their nature. She will choose security over love. And then she'll slap us a label of love on that. And that's what all these pictures, oh, we're so in love, la la la. But it's customary. It's social norms. What does he do? Right? What does he do for work? How is he going to support kids? And this is what parents want to know too. How are you going to support my daughter? And then if it's like, and the movie, a lot of times movies are right. A lot of times movies are based on real life. A lot of times movies really depict real shit. In the movies, when a guy or a girl is in love with the guy, and the guy's bummy and he doesn't have a great job, or he's kind of a ne'er-do-well, the parents are always pissed, right? Oh, everybody told us not to get together. All my friends and family said not for us to get together. They hated it. Why? Because he's broke. So it's not even just female nature. It's social. It's social order. It's social norms and mores. These are what we do, how we behave. Oh, the guy's got to make money. And guess what? If you don't, you're a loser and you don't deserve anything. A man's worth is based on his success. Right? So with all the stuff we talk about in the red pill, as far as female nature is concerned, as far as all the shitty things that women do, and there's a lot, we're not even delving into what society expects of men. A lot of the times we don't even talk about that a lot. And I appreciate Casey J. I think that's how you say her name, Casey J. She did this red pill documentary, and within that red pill documentary, some of these men were talking about how society expects men to provide, to be providers. This is the what we call a real man, right? Again, that is, just required. If you don't have that, if you don't do that, then you're nothing. You're a loser. You're less than nothing. You don't deserve her. You don't deserve my daughter. You don't, and I wanted to make a video also. I'll probably still make this video, but I'm going to throw it in here, just for good measure. When a girl takes you to meet her friends and family, that's not really a good thing, okay? Because what that really is it's a test. It's really a test. And if she takes you to meet her friends and family, what she's really saying is, I like you a lot and I want to be with you, but you got to pass this test of being likable to my friends and family. And if you don't, I probably won't be with you. Because women are social. They're social beings. And what matters to them are their friends and family. And if you're not cool with her friends and family, you probably are not going to pass the test. And what are her friends and family probably have higher standards than she does. Like, you made her excited, it was all good, you guys had great sex, and she starts really liking you, she starts spending a lot of time with you, it's all good, but then at some point she's gonna wanna show you off. Oh, look at my new guy, come meet my friends and family. And what are they thinking? They're thinking, you know, well, obviously they're thinking, is this guy a jerk? Is he going to be an abuser? Is he like an ex-con? Is he a womanizer? Those are the basics, right? That's, to some extent, most of those, like, okay, like, yeah, that's, we should, you know, you shouldn't be those things. Let's pass those tests. But bottom line, what are they going to look at? What are they going to look at? They're going to say, is this guy well off? Does he make good money? Is he classy? Is he high class? That's what they want to know. Does he have value? Right? And this is unfortunately the way of the world. This is the way of the world, man. Do you have money? Can you provide? There's homes everywhere. I'm driving and there's beautiful homes everywhere, and I've always wanted a home. And I realize if I don't have one of these things, I can't have love. I can't have a long-term relationship that works. I can't have a woman being devoted to me and loyal to me unless I have one of these things. And it's like, yes, I still want one of those things. I still have it's my dream to own a home. But it's also my dream to have love. I've always wanted love, right? But if I don't have one of these homes, I can't have love, and that just like fucks everything up. It fucks everything up, right? Because wait a minute, if I don't have this home, she's not going to stick around. Like, well, I mean, obviously I'm still going to go for the home, but someday hopefully I can still have a home, but I can't have love. I already know that, because she's not going to stick with me if I'm unemployed. She's not going to have any interest in me or attraction to me if I can't provide. And this is female nature. And I as I said earlier when I started this vlog off, it's base, right? It's in a sense, it's like, how are you going to survive? How are you going, but on the other hand, it's like, look, man, if you don't love me when I'm nothing, why should you love me when I have something? And I mean, there's different ways to look at it, because also you could say, well, yeah, but there's a whole bunch of other guys who have houses. There's a whole bunch of other guys that she could choose from, right? But the question is, and you say, well, she chose you out of all those other guys who have houses, right? I guess she really loves you. But again, if you don't have the house, she's not going to choose you, right? Because this is female nature. So it's like, yeah, I guess I'm special in a way because she chose me out of all the other guys who have houses. But also, we're still all the winners. So what if I was a loser? Would you not love me if I was a loser? Right? And so for me, being in a unique position where I have been the loser my whole adult life, I look at it and like, yeah, that changes the whole ball game. If you're a loser, she don't want you because she wants the winner. Now she might choose you out of a pool of winners because she thinks you're cuter than this guy. She likes your disposition better than that guy. She likes your personality better than him. She likes your jokes better than him. Like that makes sense. That means something. But again, this is from the pool of the winners. This is how women operate. She's not choosing from the winners and the losers. No, she's just choosing from the winners. You see, so you're the winner of the winner circle. If you're not winning, if you're not in the winning circle to begin with, she's not going to choose you at all. You're not even in the running to get chose, right? So here's the thing, like, why would you want that? And why would you call that love? Like, I guess she loved you more than all the other winners, but again, if you're not a winner, she don't love you. If you're not a winner, she's really not going to choose you, right? And then there's a song that I heard by a guy named Black, kind of a new artist. Came out about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He's an R&B singer, and I like his music. And he had this line in one of his songs: if you have to choose between me and him, you better choose him. That makes sense to me, man. Like, if you have to choose, if you're wondering, like, oh, should I choose you or should I choose him? You better choose him. Because if I'm not the hands down choice, if there's even a choice, like, I don't even like the idea of there being a choice. Like, oh, I got this choice. I've got all these guys to choose from. Like, that's like going to the store and like, do I want a red apple or do I want a green apple or do I want a yellow apple? Right? Maybe I don't even want an apple. Maybe I want an orange. Maybe I don't even want an orange. Maybe I want a banana. Right? It's like creepy. You know, in a way, like, you know, like it dehumanizes us. It dehumanizes men. Like, we're just utility. We're a means to an end. Oh, well, I liked you more than all the other bananas. I chose you because you were the ripest. Or like, why did you choose me? Is it because you really loved me, or is it because I'm just the best banana? You know, well, you were the best. You know, I like you the best because I just like the way you do this, and I like the way you do that, and but really, like, I don't want you to choose me per se. I want you to fall in love with me. I want you to choose me because you love me, not because I'm the best, not because, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but I don't like the idea that, you know, it's almost like going to a car lot, right? Like, it takes the humanity out of it. Like, even the old school, like, suitors. Oh, I got all these suitors and I just like him, and like, but again, these suitors, if they didn't have a great job, they wouldn't even be a suitor. If they weren't a man of means, they wouldn't even be in the running. And a lot of people say, well, this is just nature. This is just human. This is biology. Like, well, I don't want no fucking part of that. I'll tell you that. Like, I don't want no parts of that. Like, dude, you don't love me when I'm nothing, then why should you love me when I have something? You know, if you don't choose me, or if you don't whatever, get with me when I'm absolutely have nothing, then why should you be around? Why should I be with you when I have something? It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you love me for who I am. You love me through thick and thin. You love me through richer or poorer, like the fucking vows say, right? And yet people probably still say those vows today when they're not true. And you know, I pointed this out about 6 months ago. They change those vows now. They make their own vows. They don't say through richer or poorer anymore. They write their own weird ass vows, and then people wonder why divorce is at 50%. Like, there's no loyalty. It's like everything is conditional, you know. I don't know, man. Like this is female nature, and it's like when you learn what it is, it's pretty shitty, man. You don't want to, especially when it happens to you, especially when, you know, a girl's like, well, I just don't feel secure with you. I don't feel like, you know, you can provide for me. I don't feel like you can. I'd always be worried about money. I think the money thing is scary. You know, like, you know, like, imagine if a guy was like, I just don't think you're hot enough for me. Like, you know how bad a girl would feel? Like, particularly when this is like what we're raised to think. You know, women are raised to think, oh, in order to get a man, I have to be attractive. In order to attract a man, I have to be really good looking. And then a guy's like, well, you're just not good looking enough for me. Like, your whole life is centered around trying to make yourself more attractive to get a man. And then when a man rejects you because you're not attractive enough, you feel like an absolute failure. And it's the same with men. It's like, you know, our whole lives are centered around trying to get resources. And why are we doing this? Oh, I want a good job. Because we want a better life, yeah. But there's also biology mixed in there. I think it's latent in our subconscious. We think that in order to get a good woman, we have to have the nicer car. We have to have the good house. And like, we sort of subconsciously think in order to get love, we need resources. And people will argue that, and that's not the way it is. But the proof is in the fudge. The proof is in the pudding, man. What do girls do? What do they want to know? They want to know what you do for resources. They want to know what you do for work. They want to know how you make your money. They want to know, can you provide? And people argue both ways. It's like, it's crazy how people argue. Like it's crazy how people contradict themselves. On the one hand, they'll be like, that's nature, that's biology. And then on the other hand, they'll be like, well, not all girls are like that. It's like, just pick one, man. If not all girls are like that, then where are the girls who are settling down with the guy when he's a loser? Where are the girls who are settling down with the guy when he works at a laundromat? Right? When he's 40 and he works at a laundromat. Because they might do it when he's 20 and he's got all kinds of potential, right? Oh, I got all this potential. He's got all this potential. He's only 20. He could go to college. He could do this. He could get rich. But then, check back in, and there are relationships like that. But check back in 5 years and see if he's still in that same place. If she's still around, I guarantee she won't be. I've had women, message me and tell me all about their I'm not shallow. I stuck with my guy for 20 years, and they'll tell on themselves. They'll give away the plot, right? They'll tell on themselves. I was with my guy for 20 years, and I tried to help him get a better job, and he just never did anything. He just wanted to sit around. Well, look at what you just told on yourself. You wanted him to be successful, so you tried to turn a prince and you tried to turn a frog into a prince, and it didn't work. And you exposed yourself for being shallow. You didn't just love him as the frog. You didn't love him as the loser. You wanted him to be better. You loved him, so okay, maybe, but you wanted him to be better, and you pushed him. And then finally, when he wasn't better, you left him. And now you're complaining in my inbox about how you're not shallow, but you just told on yourself. You are shallow. You are. That's why you didn't stick with him. That's why you left him eventually, because he never turned into a butterfly from a caterpillar, and then you left him. So it's like, this is female nature, man. I'm telling you. I guarantee, and this is why everybody's always worried about this is why everybody's so concerned about an epidemic. This is why everybody's so concerned about coronavirus. This is why everybody's so concerned about the stock market. And what if the economy crashes? Because if you lose your house, everything goes. Your wife will be gone. This is because people put security in materialism. People put their trust in money. And what's sad about the saddest part of all that, the sad thing, and it is sad, that is sad. And the saddest part what it means is that love is not really real. Because again, if you don't have this lifestyle, she'll choose a lifestyle over love. And she'll say it's love, but really she's just happy with the lifestyle. She'll say she loves this guy, so that's why she's showing him off on social media and blah, 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 taking all these nice pictures. But again, if he didn't have that house, if he didn't have that mortgage, if he didn't have that cushy career job, she wouldn't be with him, dude. Because what do you think they're doing in the dating game? On the one hand, yeah, they're getting fucked by Chad. They're out there hooking up on Tinder. That's true. But what else are they doing? Looking for a dude with money. Why do you think it took her so long? I mean, what do you think she was doing in her 20s? She probably could have found love very quickly, because there's all kinds of guys who want to love her. There's all kinds of guys who would happily be faithful to her. But no, she chased Chad, because this is female nature. This is the sickness of female nature. They want the bad boy at first, because this is they want to pass on their genes. They want the bad boy genes. They want that. They want to replicate that strength of the bad boy, that individualism, that coolness. He's so hot, and look at him in those boots and those jeans. Oh, I want to fuck him. Oh, I want to suck his dick. Oh, I want to have his baby, right? And then what do they want? But on the one hand, that's what they want. That's what they want to fuck. But what do they want for love? What do they want to settle down with? They want the security, right? They want the nice guy. They want the docile, steady, predictable guy. And we would call, in the manosphere, we would call that guy a beta, right? Whether he's a beta or not. I mean, I think being cucked by a woman who only wants you, for your money is beta. I think that's beta. I don't think there's anything alpha about that. I don't think there's anything strong about that. Of course, I'm using that in the, in the bro science term, alpha, beta, right? I mean, an alpha is a strong guy who knows what he wants, goes after what he wants, doesn't compromise. The beta rolls over, is subservient, is a yes man, right? Well, that's kind of what you got to be to these women, right? So you kind of got to be beta, but this is what women want. They want to sleep with the bad boy because he's alpha. He doesn't compromise. He holds his ground. He's not a bitch. He's a strong, centered, grounded guy who knows what he wants. And even if he just wants to fuck, she still wants it because that is attractive when he's grounded and he knows what he wants. The beta guy who's like, oh, I'll do anything to love you. Oh, anything for you. And he has no, maybe he has no value system, but as long as he's providing those resources, she doesn't care about a value system as much as she cares about resources. And as long as he is predictable, as long as he's docile enough to be steady, as long as he's a steady guy, this is what they want. Safe, steady, provider, resources, consistent for the long term. For sex, it's pretty much the opposite of all that. They don't give a shit about money when it comes to sex. They want the bad boy who's unpredictable, who doesn't chase her, that she has to chase him. He doesn't text her all the time. He's not clingy, right? That's attractive when she's in her cock carousel riding phase, right? But then once she gets out of that phase, then all of a sudden, okay, well, I hit the wall. I'm not as attractive as I used to be 10 years ago. I got pregnant. Now I got to worry about this kid, or I got an STD and I can't, I feel bad about it. I can't just go out and sleep around as I used to, although many will, even if they got an STD. But, I got to change now, she says. So now I'm looking for the docile guy. Now I need that security. And then they call it love. Oh, I love him so much. No, you love the lifestyle he provides. You love the fact that he's predictable and you live a comfortable life. And you can stay at home and raise the kids, or you can have your little job that you like. So, some women like working, whatever. And you don't have to worry about him cheating on you because he won't. You don't have to worry about him not having, losing his job, or you don't have to worry about this, you don't have to worry about that. Security, this is what they want. This is female nature. And so, as I said when I started this vlog out, it could be that women just haven't evolved because they had to choose that guy to make sure their genes replicated in a steady way, because, they might want to fuck the bad boy, but eventually those kids got to get raised. And if you ever want to start a shitstorm, if you ever want to piss off society, all you got to do is start talking shit about stepdads. Talk some shit about stepdads. Say some shit about stepdads. Trust me, you will start a shitstorm. People will lose their head. People will lose their shit and call you all kinds of names because, why? Because women are pumping up that and hyping up that fucking narrative that stepdads are heroes. Why are they doing that? Because the stepdad, this is a real deceptive thing, because the stepdad, he's the cleanup guy. That means she can go fuck around and it'll be okay, because if she gets pregnant, there's always that hero, quote unquote, aka cleanup guy, to come in and raise the alpha guy, the bad boy, Chad's genes. He'll raise the kid because he thinks he's a hero, because this is the narrative that these slutty, deceptive witches are putting out there. Why are they doing that? It's just psychology. Oh, I'll tell the guy he's a hero. That way he'll raise the kid. When in reality, there's nothing more emasculating than raising a kid, than raising a kid that's not yours. There's nothing more emasculating than that. It's beta as it gets. Imagine, that doesn't happen in the wild. A lion doesn't raise another lion's kid. In fact, it kills the kid. That's what a lion does. Wolves will not raise other wolves' kids. They will kill those babies if it's not their genes. That's nature. That's actually natural. So it's not natural. I'm not saying murder is natural, but you get my point. It's not natural for a mammal or an animal or a human, whatever, to want to raise the genes of somebody else. No, you want your genes passed on. You want to raise your kid. You don't want to spend hours raising, hours every day to raising someone else's kid. Like, what the fuck is that? I want to raise my kid. You're not a hero. You're a cuck. You're not a hero. You are a tool. And she's lying to you. They call you a hero because they want you to accept that role. Oh, I'm a hero. I'm a real man. That's what they say. They say, oh, he's a real man. The stepdad is a real man because he's doing the job that the father didn't want to do, or some bullshit like that. Like, first of all, the woman is supposed to marry a guy that she loves, and with that guy that she loves, have kids. And with their love, they should be raising kids in that loving scenario. But if she's choosing a guy for money, or she's out fucking around with bad boys, the whole thing's fucked up. And that's the whole point, is that not only is it not real love, it's conditional love, but you're raising kids in a fucked up way. This is why kids are so damaged. This is why kids are so messed up, because mommy chose for money. Mommy married daddy for money. If it even is his daddy, right? Mommy's with stepdaddy for money. Mommy ditched real daddy because he was a bum, or he didn't have enough money. He wasn't good enough. Or maybe he left. Maybe he was just a bad boy. Maybe he didn't want to stick around to raise this kid and marry this slut that he just wanted a one-night stand with. This is why promiscuity is not cool. This is why promiscuity is a problem. Because that's a result, and what does it do? It damages society, and this is a statistical fact. Psychologists know this, that kids raised by parents that both, if one or more of the parents aren't biological, those kids are going to grow up to be statistically higher rate of depression, statistically higher rate of not being successful in life, statistically higher rate to be criminals, statistically higher rate to commit suicide, statistically higher rate to go to prison, etc. Kids that are not raised by their biological parents who love each other in a loving, real relationship grow up maladjusted. They grow up damaged. It's a fact. It's a statistical, documented fact. Ask any psychologist. Do any Google search, and this is what you will find. These are the results you will find. But this is why these witchy, sicko feminists and these sluts out here trying to push this narrative that stepdads are heroes, stepdads are real men, because they need a fall guy. They need a tool to fall back on when they make that mistake of getting pregnant with a guy that they don't love, or getting pregnant with a guy who doesn't stick around because she was just a slut, or because she had bad choice in men, or because for whatever reason she got pregnant, right? And it's usually not a good one when she becomes a single mom. Now, occasionally, yeah. Now it does happen a lot that the guy will be a piece of shit, or he's abusive, or maybe the guy died, and that's how she became a single mom. That happens, but that's not what I see a lot of the time. What I see a lot of the time is these women are out sleeping around. These women are out. This is why single moms are so prevalent. Because we live in a porn culture. We live in a promiscuity culture, hookup culture, Tinder. Oh yeah, by the time you hit 18, you're hooking up on Tinder every other day. You're having sex all the time, three times a week, with a new guy every week. Like, come on, what do you think's gonna happen? You're gonna get pregnant, you're gonna get some STDs, you're gonna get your heart broke, you're gonna break some heart, doesn't even mention all the games these women play. They're just playing. They're out here playing games. They think it's all a game. Who's gonna catch feelings first? Is he gonna catch feelings for me? Is he gonna? And once he does, I'm gonna ditch him because I want that stoic guy who's got higher value. Just like Rollo Tomassi says in The Rational Male, you can never put her on a pedestal. You always gotta be about your purpose. You can't, make her your purpose, because if you do that, then she'll lose interest in you, and they do, and that does happen, and that's female nature. That's a game women play, and it's cruel. And this is what they're all out here doing. Oh, I'm fucking this guy and I like him right now, but if he gets clingy, I'm gonna dump him. We got a stage 5 clinger. Oh, like, well, what do you expect? He probably wants to love you, and he doesn't. He feels like you're a player, because you are, because you got all these options. And women rule the sexual market because they're the object of men's desires, and they're the ones who have all the offers, and they're the ones being chased, and they're the ones, guys have to do all the work, right? we have to learn game and take you on dates and impress you and constantly make you feel great. And if we slip a little bit, you're so oppressed and you're struggling. Oh, your guy didn't take you on a date this week, and life's over. You better find somebody else. You better jump on the next cock, right? And what's the result of that? Well, bing, bang, boom. Eventually you get pregnant, because what are you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be loving one guy, yes, having kids, and being faithful to that one guy. By the time you hit 20, I'd say 20 would be a good age to get married. But instead, you're out fucking around, because feminism's like, oh yeah, you can take facials, and you can do anal, and you can have threesomes, and you can have trains ran on you, you can do porn. It's all liberating, right? According to feminism, right? And then we have this weird background, like, well, our value system is based on materialism, based on money. So she goes and does that for a few years, and then she falls back on this, well, I need a guy, I'm ready, and I need a guy who's got money, I need a guy who has a house, and then they just fall back on this, on this value system of the guy making money. And that's their base nature. So what chance does real love have in a scenario like that? What chance does the guy who's like, you know what, I just want a woman to love. I just want a woman to love me despite the fact that I'm not making a lot of money or wherever I'm at in my station in life, I want a woman to stick with me, whether I'm a winner or not. But this is female nature. They're attracted to value. They're attracted to the strong male. They're attracted to the male who's got it going on. They're attracted to the male who has all the nice clothes and who can afford this and that. And, the survival of the fittest, right? Well, what is that as far as love is concerned? Is that any kind of love? And men adjust. We figure it out. We learn how to be aloof, and we learn how to be a bad boy. We learn how to be players, and that works, and it attracts girls. But then we can never be ourselves. Just like Rollo Tomassi says in his Rational Male book, you always got to stay on your purpose. You always got to be higher value than her. You could never. And then it's just like, what kind of relationship is that? I think about these relationships. It's like the guy's always ignoring her, and we got to play this game of like, well, I don't have time for, and then you put her on a pedestal, or I wouldn't even say put her on a pedestal. I would say you make her the object of your desire, and she no longer wants you. It's weird how female nature is, right? You all of a sudden you start being real affectionate towards her, and she doesn't want you anymore. She gets bored, and or she just, it's like, where are the girls who appreciate the guys who are real lovey? Do those girls exist? Do women exist that like it when a guy hugs on them a lot and kisses them and is real affectionate? Do girls like that? I don't think they like that. They don't want that. They want the guy who's, oh yeah, I'll give you 10% of my attention. I'll give you, what are you doing? Like, and that works. Try it. That works. You'll get a girl to chase you. I've had girls chase me for years because I never gave them affection. Watch Patrice O'Neal. He talks about that. The comedian Patrice O'Neal, who passed away. He talks about that. He talks about when, you treat a girl like she's an option, and she'll never leave you. You treat a girl like you can always do better than her. She'll never leave you. You say, oh, you're the love of my life. You're so great. She'll lose interest in a heartbeat. She'll lose interest and leave you in a day after she was chasing you for years. That's happened to me. Right? You catch feelings and you put her on a pedestal, or I wouldn't even say put her on a pedestal. You just show her a lot of affection. Show her too much affection, and she'll leave you. This female nature, man. It's a weird thing. It's a sick thing, man. And at the essential core of all that is finances. That'll really keep her around. Make sure you got resources. Make sure you're a provider. She'll stick around. She will. This is female nature, man. And who's raising them any different? Is there anyone out there that raises them different? No, our value system is, well, you got to have a nice house. You got to be able to provide for yourself. You got to be able to provide for your family. That's our value system. Beyond that, it's nothing. It's nothing more beyond that. I like the Bible quote. Love suffers long. Love does not puff it up. Love does not take account of offenses or whatever. I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 13 or whatever. That's a good definition of love, right? How many women are doing that? How many women really love a man like that? No, it's very conditional. How many women are out here really loving a man? You know, or on the other, how many women out here are really just with a man because he's a provider? They're just with him because, they might love him, but again, he's a provider, and he provides that security. And the other guys couldn't, and she just liked him better, and she just chose him, and it's just like, okay, I get it. I don't want no part of that. Either you're with me when I'm in the dirt, and we start from nothing, or fuck it, I don't want anything to do with you. If you can't be with me when I'm a nobody, why should you be with? You know what I mean? It's like. And they're always trying to hop onto the next dick. They're always trying to monkey branch, hop onto the higher quality guy. And they might settle eventually. Well, I'm just tired of being lonely. I want someone to hug and love and blah, blah, blah. But again, if you didn't have those resources, she's not going to choose that guy. Maybe after a while, her hypergamy will settle down. And she'll just look for somebody who loves her. And she'll just look for somebody to settle down with, right? But again, if he didn't have the money, she ain't going to be with him. What she was supposed to do is love him from the beginning, when she was 20. Stick with him, right? Does that ever happen? Do parents ever tell their daughters to do that? Or are his parents just saying, find a guy who has money, who can take care of you? Like, how many parents are really encouraging their daughter to love a guy for who he is and not just for his money? Or, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. It's part of it. It's part of our culture. Oh, he's got to have resources. He's got to have, he's got to not only make me happy, make my family happy. He's got to be able to take care of my little girl. My little girl needs security, right? And they raise them this way, and that becomes part of their personality. Well, I want to make my parents happy, and I know my parents want me to be with a guy who's got a lot of money. So, I can't be with you because you don't have good resources or whatever, right? The money thing, it's a big problem, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. It's a cold game, man. It really is a cold game, but we know these truths, and it helps us, It hurts finding out these truths, I'll tell you that. But at least, it takes some pressure off. It takes some, pain away. It reduces the pain when you realize, well, it's not quite just you. It's female nature's fucked up. It's not that you're being rejected specifically. It's that, female nature's fucked up. Yes, you're being rejected, but it's not because you're just unlovable. It's because she's fucked up, right? It's because she can't really love you in a real way. She doesn't really know how to love. She doesn't really have that in her. It's not really in her nature to be loving in a supportive way. Women just aren't like this. And you question whether, historically, biologically, they didn't have to adapt this way. Historically, biologically, they really just need, and that's the irony of feminism. The irony of feminism is that they claim, I don't want to just be a housewife, but yet your nature wants to be a housewife. Your nature wants to be an appendage, right? Your nature wants to be a commodity, to be bought by the guy with the most resources, right? And then you slap a label on that of love, like, dude, you're a social climber. You're hyper, like, sure, you love your guy. Yeah, you fell in love with him, right? But again, if he didn't have the money, would you really fall in love with him? Would you really have stuck with him if he wasn't a winner? You fell in love with a winner. Let's put it that way. You didn't fall in love with a loser, right? Because this is how women are. Women are materialistic this way, right? Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Appreciate you guys listening. It's been Jay Lee with Northwest Podcast. Peace.